So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes, joined by Jay Random. I know.
Yo, what's going on? That's cool. What's going on, cousin? How's everything? How's your day today?
Everything's pretty good. For those of you who don't know, this is Atypical Voices in Our Time, a.k.a. AVIOT, the official podcast of K3mistry Productions, a media education company. So today went pretty good for me, Jay Random. It's been raining a lot out here. What about yourself?
Oh, man. It's been good. No rain today. Thank God for that. But so many ways, it's coming tomorrow. Because if you're getting it, every time you and I talk, when you're getting it, we're getting it right after you guys. So,
yeah. That's
how it works. That's it. Day was cool. Can't wait for Friday, of course, you know.
I got you. Well, today we just wanted to have a pop-up episode. This was not scheduled. This was not planned. And it's entitled, Let's Talk About It. So many of you might not have heard our episode from yesterday, episode 12, Heavy Hitters. But in there we were talking about some very controversial topics, and we were giving some very impactful, very aggressive, very forced. The word I'm trying to find, it's slipping me, but we were very outspoken about certain topics. And
yes,
one thing that was discussed, we'll actually play a snippet of it right here. We want to clarify for audiences out there so no one thinks we're going overboard. So here was a snippet from yesterday, and we want to talk about it and clarify it. So here we go. All of these people that have been brought down, these high officials, have been brought down at the hands of a white woman saying that they were sexually assaulted, they were raped, right? So I'm saying, and the statute of limitations did not matter with any of these women. They can go back decades. They can go back 20, 30, 40 years in the past, and they can get these guys fired from their jobs. They can get them thrown in prison in the case of Cosby. But you mean to tell me that when it comes to kids in the Catholic Church, the statute of limitations does not apply? You mean to tell me with Emmett Till, who was brutally murdered from a lie, the statute of limitations does not apply? We really have to do some thinking in this country, because it seems to me that all that matters are the words of a white woman. That is not right. That is not right. All right, so that was me yesterday being very outspoken and very energetic. The word is still slipping from me what I want to say, but I was very, this topic really touched me personally, and Jay Random was caught off guard by how I was very vocal about it. And first off, I wanted to clarify something. So the point of this podcast is not to put anybody down or to pit any group of people against another. We're here to educate, have fun, and empower people. And we're also here to get the facts right. Right. And we're also here to get the facts right. That's K3mistry Productions. K3mistry Productions, which we're the official podcast for, is all about media education. So first, let me clarify statute of limitations. So the term statute of limitations is a statute prescribing a period of limitation for the bringing of certain kinds of legal action. What that means is that if something happened to you, like a crime happened over a long time ago, like decades ago, there's a certain period of time where you can actually bring the person that's responsible for that crime to a court and have them tried and put in prison or jail or what have you. Now, the statute of limitations, it doesn't apply to murder. So if someone murdered someone, then that's out the window. That's a common fact. But in other cases like rape or sexual assault, statute of limitations do apply. What I was trying to say yesterday was that when it comes to stories involving white women, it seems like the statute of limitations doesn't apply for whatever case. They're always going to have their voice heard. And as a result of that, it turns out that you have situations like this Brett Kavanaugh case right now where people will lose their jobs or lose their positions, which is rightfully so. But what I was trying to get across was if that's the case for white women, that needs to be the case for everything. It shouldn't just be that white women are put on it shouldn't be just that white women are put on a pedestal because other people matter as well. So Jay Random, just jump in and then I'll continue after you jump in on that one.
Yeah, so I mean, I totally agree with you. And like I said, you know, you and I, we had our discussion off the air, and I got where you're coming from. And you're right. It's more than just one particular gender and color, because you're not just saying white women. You're just saying basically, what about the kids? You know,
right?
And these kids, I'm pretty sure these kids range from a lot of races, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them was white. So it's not like you're anti-white. What basically you're saying is the statutory limitation should not be just for them. It should be for everyone. You have a point, because what happened with these kids with the Catholic Church is unacceptable. But I find it odd how, you know, it came out that a lot of higher ups knew about what was going on, but then it fell on deaf ears. Like, what happened after that? Like, what is going on? What about these kids? You know?
Right. There was no outrage.
Yeah, no outrage. And it seemed like the Catholic Church is so powerful that they can really silence a media storm or attention to something that really needs attention. Like, what about these kids? And who really knew about it? Because whoever knew about these kids being molested by these preachers, by these priests, the priests should have to face trial, and whoever knew should have to face trial. Because isn't it saying guilty by association? Doesn't that apply to if I'm in a car with you and I don't know that you're about to rob a store, but I drive you to the store, next thing you know, you jump out with, you know, and you come back, run, and I'm driving off. Now I'm guilty by association. So I knew if I don't turn around, there has to be a certain time that you have to. It's okay. I feel like there's a certain time that you can actually correct the wrong. Meaning, in that situation with with being in the car with someone not knowing that they're going to rob a store, you still have a choice to now stop the car and get out of the car. And I hate to say call the cops, but at the end of the day, I'm not snitching. I had nothing to do with what you were doing. So I say the same thing with these priests. As soon as they knew, they had time to correct that wrong. The same thing with the Sandusky and the Penn State. Lou Paterno, is his name Lou Paterno? I know it's something Paterno, right?
Yeah, just make sure you're providing make sure you're providing a backstory so people understand what you're talking about. Because not everybody might know the story.
Well, what's the thing? Wow, if no one knows this story about what happened in Penn State, then shame on you, because it happened so long. But basically, no, seriously. I mean, this is the news. But so I'm gonna shorten it because we only got a half an hour show. But Penn State, Sandusky, I think he was a coach or assistant coach, and he was assistant coach for Penn State, and he was found guilty later on for molesting a bunch of young boys at Penn State in the showers. And when it all came out, it was found out that a lot of higher ups at Penn State knew about it, and even the coach, I forgot his name, Rick Pitino. I'm probably messing, and I apologize for anyone that I pronounced his name wrong. But the coach of Penn State at the time, he even knew. The athletic department, they knew. So a lot of people knew and ignored it, and that's when I think you are now just as bad as the person who's doing the crime, because there's a set time, I believe, that you have to correct the wrong. And as soon as you don't do that, then you're just as bad as the person. So I think, and I'm pretty sure like-minded mind or a smart person would know that's all you were saying. And you seem so adamant and so gung-ho because you wanted to push the fact that it's one-sided. meaning
right.
it seems like when we watch these cases, it's only white women, and it's not white women and others as far as kids, because it seems like the kids are being ignored, and it seems like other races are being ignored. So basically what you were saying, listen, let's have equal opportunity, equal rights. The statutory should apply to everyone. The statutory limitation.
Right.
Listen.
Yeah, the statute of limitations. It should be thrown out the window with everyone. Yeah, it should be thrown out the window with everyone, because
thrown out the window.
They always bring up the statute of limitations when it comes to the kids, or when it comes to women of color, black women and women of color. They always throw that, that happened a long time ago, so we can't do anything right now. But in this case right here, they're throwing that out the window, and they're using this against Brett Kavanaugh. Now, I'm not supporting Brett Kavanaugh at all. I'm just saying, I'm just using that as an example. I'm just using him as an example. No, that's all.
I totally agree. And you know what? And after listening to the show, I started to think, wow, Jay Stokes has a point. It's funny how, once again, I do not condone anything he did, but it's funny how they're bringing up even with Roy Moore, they bring up so much old dirt, but when it comes to anybody else, there's a set year that you got to stop for. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Because are you bringing up the dirt but we can't use it so everybody knows how much of a creep you are, or are you trying to use that dirt and submit it in your case? Because if you're trying to submit it in your case, then wait time. So now you're saying there's no limitation to the year that someone was violated. So that's why, I'm glad you cleared that up, because basically that's all you were saying. You were just basically saying, listen, let's have equal rights for everyone. And definitely, let's focus on the kids, because these kids were keyword kids. They're not grown-ups. They're going to church, and you would think that this would be the last place that this will happen at. And the sad part is that I'm pretty sure parents probably found out, told certain people, because that's what people know, and it fell on deaf ears. And this has to stop. This has to stop. I mean, what is it going to be? Every few years we're going to find out another priest is touching a little boy. I mean, come on.
Right.
That's sad. So I'm here with you,
right,
man. You know that.
Yeah, definitely. And when we even talk about other groups that aren't being addressed when it comes to sexual misconduct or any tragic event, for that matter, I put if you look in the description for this episode, Anita Hill is one of the hashtags, and people keep comparing this case right now with Brett Kavanaugh to the Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas case. And Anita Hill is a black woman who said that Clarence Thomas, a current Supreme Court judge, actually sexually harassed her, and no one took her seriously. And obviously this happened a long time ago. This happened before the Me Too movement was prevalent, or was very prominent. But I argue that if an Anita Hill case were to happen today, the results would have been the same, because we have a lot of cases where black women are being sexually abused, sexually assaulted, and raped. If you look at statistics, black women are sexually abused and sexually assaulted and raped at astronomical rates, just very high rates, and people don't address it. It's only an issue when it involves white women. And like I said before, this is not me trying to pit groups against each other, but I'm saying that we should be equally outraged when it affects any group. And we should also be outraged when
women
kids,
kids. Yeah.
Right. And so my thing is I'm with any woman who is truthfully sexually abused or sexually assaulted or raped. I'm with any woman in that matter. But at the same time, I'm saying that we have to make sure some women aren't being elevated over others. We have to make sure that everybody is being elevated together, because that's the only way that this country as a whole can be better. we're here on this podcast to empower and inspire everyone out there and have some fun. So if anything, please, for those of you who are listening to this, just understand that we need to recognize tragedies when it happens to anyone. Let's not just make it a white-only issue. Let's not put white people or white women on a pedestal. We have to put everybody on a pedestal. All victims need to be heard. All victims need to have their problems addressed. And that's the only way we can make the United States better.
I agree. No, I agree. You can't just put one particular race and gender on the pedestal, because then all that's going to do is, first of all, start resentment, number one. And number two, what that's also going to do is start making people believe that their situation doesn't matter. And that can lead to other things. If a woman or a kid feels like no one's going to listen to me and take the law into their own hand, now we have a bigger problem. Was once a rape or molestation that could have been handled with by them feeling like their opinion or their situation is just as important, and now they feel like no one's going to listen to me, no one's going to believe me, then that's when it escalates to the next level.
Yeah.
Everyone should feel that, that they're just important. So, it's as important.
It could escalate to suicide or murder, and that's definitely where we don't want it to go. And I think that another point that I was making today when I was talking to someone about, especially this Brett Kavanaugh case, is that we're missing the point in this whole Me Too era of education. I think I said this in yesterday's podcast, but we are not educating people. What is the right and wrong way to go about things? We also have cultural differences, how black people deal with something, how Africans deal with something, black Americans deal with something, is different from how a Korean American is going to deal with something, a Chinese American, an Indian, a Native American. They're all different. We have to have these conversations and understand boundaries and understand cultural differences, because if not, we're going to have more cases like Aziz Ansari where guys are totally confused. We're going to have more cases where women are coming out and saying stuff and nobody believes them. So we have to come to an understanding, and we have to focus on education. This shouldn't be a witch hunt. This shouldn't be I'm going to get you back. This should be I'm going to get justice, and I'm going to use this as a teaching opportunity for the next generation. We forgot about the kids in this generation. I truly believe we've forgotten about the kids, and that's why a lot of the kids are running haywire.
Oh, man. These kids are running haywire, too. Sad but true.
Mm-hmm.
Sad but true. So, no, you got a point. So listen. So, for anyone who's listening, listened to the show yesterday, hopefully they turn around, listen to the show, and realize that we are not preaching segregation at all. We're just saying, listen, everyone feeling counts. Everyone's situation is important, and statistics show that even though we say everyone feeling in a situation is important, statistics shows the opposite. So everything that Jay Stokes says, then he doesn't say it unless he has something to back it up on. So
definitely.
That's exactly. So that's another reason why I want people to understand that these are just, everything that comes out of your mouth when when you're preaching, or not even preaching, when you're saying what you're saying, understand that he has data on top of data to back it up. But still, he's showing you this to bring light to the fact that we need to correct this now before others may feel a certain way about their situation and escalate it, because we don't want that. Everyone should be able to, if they got sexually abused, no matter what color, race, they should be able to call the cops and take it there. and start there and end it with, end it there. No one should feel like no one values my opinion. No one values how I feel. No one's going to believe me. Don't worry about that.
Right.
Don't feel that way. Go out there. If someone makes you feel uncomfortable to the point that they actually touch you to make you feel uncomfortable, because once again, if they're staring at you, that's totally different. There's some creeps out there, but I don't think that's sexual harassment. Uncomfortable, yes. Sexual harassment, I don't know. If you actually tell them, hey, what are you staring at? So I mean, like, if you ever feel like you were sexually harassed by any manner, by all means, everyone should have the right. Everyone should feel like their situation is just as important as the next person. So that's all Jay Stokes was saying. And so we got anything else to say, Jay Stokes?
Nah, I think that's pretty much it. We had it scheduled for half an hour, but hey, we're ending early today.
Cool. So listen. So let's talk about something else then.
Okay.
So did you hear how they said that Bill Cosby's first meal had Jello pudding with it?
Oh snap! Yo,
disrespectful, man.
Chill.
Yo,
these people have no chill.
Dude, listen. So that was crazy. And then I actually happened to look at an Instagram picture of. Did you see what Michael Rappaport did to Bill Cosby?
Oh, listen. Michael Rappaport, for as much as the yo he be saying, he be suspect. He is suspect sometimes. Because I'm like, he
didn't have to do that.
Cool, man.
He didn't have to do that.
No.
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 No. Why you had to like a thug?
Today. Yeah, exactly. I was speaking to my sister today about the Bill Cosby verdict, and she said he deserves what he gets. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but my thing was, let's not act like Bill Cosby didn't have a positive impact on the black community. She said, well, he also had a negative impact on the black community with his rhetoric trying to tell people to pull their pants up and all that stuff. And I was like, true, but let's not act like
stop.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait, real quick. I disagree with that part. These kids should pull their pants up. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's disrespectful. And even though I'm about to be 40, when I was their age, I never did that. I'm telling you, that right there, I do not disagree with him on. And so what if he airs us out in the public? I personally feel like the pants part, no. These kids nowadays, they walk like penguins because their pants are so low. Like, why are you walking like a penguin? We all know how penguins walk. They walk side by side. It's like, why are you walking like a penguin? Oh, yeah, because your pants is damn near at your damn hips. Like, your pants too tight? Don't buy extra medium then. So, with that being said, I don't have a problem with him saying these kids, because I don't want to see your drawers, because God forbid your drawers are dirty. Now we got a problem. Now I'm looking at Steve. You may forget if your drawers ain't looking too good. So, but that part I disagree with.
Okay.
I know people probably like, wait, we started off so modest and so serious, and we ended. Yes, I want to end this with jokes.
Okay, I got you. Oh my goodness, yeah, but I said it on a previous podcast. If it wasn't for the Cosby Show, and I really do give a lot of credit, because people say, oh, that was Heathcliff Huxtable, Bill Cosby's character, that made you a positive figure. But my thing is, Bill Cosby created the show, and his character and the way he represented a black family, he represented it so well that you didn't even think about their race. You just thought of them as a good family. And it made me believe that I could become a doctor, I could have a wife and wonderful children. That's what that show made me believe. So
I agree.
I agree. I will never bash Bill Cosby. I'll just say it's sad what happened on both ends. If he really did sexually assault a lot of women, then that's sad. But there is no physical evidence. So we must always keep that. We must always remember that. We're going by the words of these women. And That's not saying that they're telling the untruth, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that's why I say alleged. That's why I always say alleged, because there is no physical evidence. But it's sad if this allegedly did happen to these women. If it did happen to these women, it's sad. And it's sad that he's going to prison or jail, what have you. I think prison. But
Prison, yeah.
Hey, I mean.
Yeah, for me, it's not sad he's going to prison, only because if he did the crime, got to do the time. But in the same token, it's sad how it hasn't been day one, and who gave Michael Rappaport the green light to go in. That wasn't funny.
That's true.
When I realized it was Michael Rappaport, I was like, dude, man, listen, who gave you? Oh, wait, who gave you the hall pass to do that? Like, you stick to Harvey Weinstein, okay? His name is Harvey Weinstein, and you stick to the other guy who married his daughter. Nobody says anything about that.
Woody
What's
Allen.
his name? Woody Allen.
No one says.
I know.
No one says anything about Woody Allen.
Yeah, I mean, what Woody Allen did was creepy and disgusting. Because let's be real, when you adopt a kid, that is your kid. So what if it's not your blood? It's your kid. You don't adopt a kid to have sex with it. You adopt a kid to nurture it, raise that kid to be the best, and you adopt that kid because in so many ways you know that kid needs a better life, and if you can provide it, that's what you're there to do with adoption.
Right.
You don't adopt your kid and marry her later on, because you start to say, okay, time out. When you started looking at her, what age was it? And their age is so different. Like their age is like 20, probably 15, 20 years, give or take.
Well, that's not any different from Derek Jeter and his wife. Derek Jeter, his wife is like 27 or 28, and Derek Jeter's in his mid-40s. I think he's in the mid-40s. Yeah.
Woody Allen. So that's why I'm like, come on.
People always forget Ben Roethlisberger too, because didn't he sexually assault a girl too?
Twice in 1 year.
But he's still fine.
That dude is he's a serial rapist, allegedly. Well, I don't know if it's allegedly because he got in trouble. So, but somebody must have paid him. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, look. I mean, come on. Let's be real. That's why I'm like, come on. So the first time I forgot how it happened, the story. But the second story was he met some girl. They were in the bathroom, and he was in a drunken. And he had sex. It only lasted probably less than a minute. But then once it started getting real hot and heated, then all of a sudden now Bill Roethlisberger is married. Like, come on, man. That's a smokescreen. Guilty. So I have a problem with anybody who forces themselves on women. It's just disgusting. But we're down to a minute and 40 seconds.
But that also goes back to the equality thing, because like if Cosby gets this treatment, why doesn't Ben Roethlisberger get the same treatment? You know what I mean?
That is so true. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, because he was never found innocent. Yeah. Good one. Would it ever come up? Very interesting, because I could tell you it would never come up. But let you discipline a dog, and I mean discipline him like the way Mike Vick did. Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
It is over.
Oh my!
Over. We giving you years. What?
Anyways, that wraps it up for today's show. Definitely check out K3mistry Productions. Oh, my bad. Yeah, see this delay.
No, that's cool.
That wraps it up for today's show. K3mistry Productions, K3mistry. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Tumblr. Check out our blog, Tit for Tat. That is tit for the number 4 tat. chemblog.wordpress.com, K3mblog.wordpress.com. You got anything else to say, Jay Random, before the show cuts off?
Listen, everybody, give us a call anytime when our show is live, 646-668-8398. I'm going to draw that in y'all guys. Y'all going to fall asleep thinking about it. Besides that, I enjoyed the show. Half an hour. Let's get it. Friday tomorrow. Whew, can't wait.
All right,
everybody,
man.
take it easy. See y'all next week, Wednesday. Peace.